Imagine stepping into a life of freedom before the usual retirement age, diving into your hobbies, daydreaming, or simply enjoying a cup of coffee on a weekday morning without the rush to work. Well, it's what we call early retirement. Early retirement means you can't lean on your retirement fund just yet, and your contributions to it might hit the brakes. How much do we actually need to step into early retirement and navigate this period gracefully? Let's piece together this puzzle in this video. So in Australia, when we want to retire early, I would like to break down the time into 3 phases. Phase number 1, the accumulation phase. The time from now to your desired retirement age is the hustle hard stage with no withdrawals, lots of contributions. Phase number 2, the early retirement phase. This is from your chosen retirement age up till 60. Why 60? That's when the Australian government allows you to crack open your superannuation fund like a fine aged wine. But until then, you are living off your FIRE Financial Independence Retire Early Fund, and this is your time to shine without tapping into the super yet. And phase number 3, the normal standard retirement phase. Post 60, you are mostly leaning on your superannuation fund, living the dream with the security it provides. I know in reality, many early retirees earn income from their side hustles or businesses, but to make it rather simple, by the time you retire, we assume your only income will be from your investments. So from the time you enter the workforce until your desired retirement age, you need to build 2 nest eggs. First one is the superannuation fund. This tax-effective fund will be your primary nest egg to fund your normal standard retirement phase from 60 onwards. And you need to make sure it will grow into a substantial size by the time you can access it, which means that you need to aggressively top up the balance before your retirement age. And number 2 is the FIRE fund outside of superannuation fund. This will be your nest egg to fund your early retirement lifestyle. With the limited years to grow both funds during your accumulation phase, it does seem a mission impossible. So let's meet John and Mary, who are a 35 years old couple, both working in the finance industry with $100,000 remuneration package from their employers. Their annual expense is $50,000 including mortgage payments, and currently has $110,000 super balance combined. They're both with Australian Super Index Diversified Option. Within Super, they each pay $300 life insurance with death cover of $1 million and $300 with the TPD insurance cover of $500,000. They also have $50,000 FIRE portfolio outside of the super fund that is invested in one fund ETF, BDHG Vanguard Diversified High Growth Index ETF. The mortgage on their home will be paid off when they turn 45, which is their intent retirement age. They're currently on hold to contribute more to super fund or doing any top up to their FIRE portfolio until they can work out the plan. So let's help them unpack the numbers. If their remuneration package is $100,000, it actually means that it already includes a superannuation guarantee. So the base salary before tax is $180,000. This is a rather common practice, and I bet if you check your pay slip carefully, the pay package is more likely in this form. The superannuation guarantee is based on the base salary times the current rate of 11%. Then the super funds would take 15% of the superannuation guarantee going into the fund, which happens within the super fund. Outside of super, their income tax and Medicare levy will be taken out by their employers, leaving them $137,000 per year or $11,000 cash in hand monthly. After taking out their monthly expenses of $4,167, they can save $7,252 monthly. Now the question is, with the $87,000 savings surplus per year, can they retire by age 45? When I was planning this video, I was hoping to find a ready-made calculator that could do the numbers, but they all give a lump sum portfolio size, which is not practically actionable in reality. So I went to my old new friend, Excel. To crunch the numbers, we need to set some assumptions. For superannuation, I could find a 10-year annual return of the investment option from Australian Super, which is 7.22%. Here, I would like to point out most of the super funds are crediting rates when they calculate the performance of each investment option. This means the investment returns we see are already taking out investment fees and costs, transaction costs, and taxes. The average inflation from 1966 to 2023 from the RBA website is 4.9%. I also counted the tax we pay on the dividends, where I give the assumption income return of 3% with a 15% tax rate within super, so 0.45%. After deducting the inflation and the tax on dividends, we have a net return for the super fund of 1.87%. They will stop paying TPD insurance after 65 and life insurance after 70. For the FIRE portfolio, VDHD's total return since inception is 9.68%. Similarly, the management fee of 0.27% is on the fund level, meaning the total return is after allowing for management cost. This is why we often see the lower the management fee, the higher the return of a mutual fund. However, we don't need to deduct its management fee again here. I also allow $6.50 per trade per month times 12 months for the brokerage fees during the accumulation phase. For the tax paid on dividends, again, I assume the income return is 3%, with John and Mary's marginal tax rate of 32.5%, which gives us 0.98%. The net return for the FIRE portfolio is 3.81%. During the accumulation phase, if I simply top up the $50,000 out of the total $87,000 surplus into FIRE portfolio for 10 years and the rest of the $37,000 into after-tax contribution into super, by the time they retire, they would have $689,000 in FIRE portfolio and $720,000 in super. Not bad at all. And during phase 2, they will start to draw down from the FIRE portfolio. No more contributions to FIRE portfolio. For super, they still have to pay account fee, insurance premiums, no more contributions to super either. By the end of this phase, they would still have $225,000 in FIRE portfolio and $917,000 in super. At the start of phase 3, the couple starts to draw down from the super balance. They still have to pay account fees, stop paying TPD insurance after 65, and completely stop paying any insurance after 70. The FIRE portfolio will sit aside, growing as per annual net return with no more contributions and no more drawdowns. By the time they turn 81 years old, there's not enough balance in the super fund, but once we start to draw down from the FIRE portfolio, they will be fine again. By age 90, if they could live that long, they will still have $150,000 net worth plus their fully paid off home. Happy ending. So the data simply shows they can achieve financial independence and retire early, provided the actual variables are not worse than what we predetermined. Now, in this example, we have top up $37,000 per year as an after-tax contribution to the super fund. They would save a lot more in tax if they invested the leftover surplus as a pre-tax contribution into super. So I will max out the total concessional contribution to super to $27,500 each, and they will have net contribution to super $46,000 after tax, and they would have $114,000 combined bring home income, and they will have $64,000 cash surplus after the expenditures. So $50,000 still goes to the FIRE portfolio and $14,000 as an after-tax contribution to super. So by age 90, they will have $323,000 compared to $150,000 because of the additional tax saved by switching the after-tax super contribution to a pre-tax super contribution. Of course, they can play around the numbers, say if they want to increase their annual living expense to $80,000. They can't. As we've navigated through the numbers and planning for the FIRE journey, it's become clear that this path is anything but linear. It's a dynamic journey filled with variables beyond our control, from market fluctuations to changing personal circumstances. The mathematical side, with all its complexity, is just one easy part of the equation. And once you solve that, perhaps even more challenging is the mental and emotional preparations required. The road to FIRE can be lonely and misunderstood, touching on deep questions about social identity, purpose, and fulfillment. Whether you're just starting out, recalibrating your path, or you've reached your destination and reflecting on the journey, what has been the biggest challenge or learning on the FIRE journey? How do you navigate the emotional highs and lows? My name's Irene. I'll see you next week.